When somebody is talking about map reading, one of the words that you'll hear most frequently is the word feature. Features, features, feature and feature, feature, features. Now, you can use map features to navigate by. You know, sometimes we navigate from one feature to another, or we'll plan a route that will go past lots of different features, and that'll tell us that we're going in the right direction. But what exactly is a map feature? What makes something on a map a feature and something else on the same map not a feature? So, I know it's a strange question, but I actually don't know for certain. I've looked all over the internet, I've read lots of books, and I can't find one definitive description of what is a map feature. So, as you may have guessed, I'm going to have a go at it. I'll try and come up with a description. Now, you may disagree with this. If you do, let me know in the description box, in the comments box, or if you've got a better description. So this is my idea. I would say that a map feature is something that has its location marked on a map and that you can touch. So it's got to be marked on a map, its location has to be marked, and you have to be able to touch it. And both of those things have to be true. I know, someone's already starting to type into the comments box that you can't touch a contour line, but that's just because they don't understand what a contour line is. A map is just a graphic, it's a picture that shows you where something is in relation to other things on the map. A contour line drawn on a map doesn't show you where there's a huge line drawn on the ground. What it does, it shows you the location of a piece of ground which is the same height as all the other bits of ground where that contour line is indicating on the map. So you can think about a contour line as a progression of points, and you can touch the ground at any of those points under the contour line. So a contour line definitely is a map feature. In fact, it's one of the most important map features. As with a little bit of practice, you know, you'll be able to look at contour lines on a map and then visualize the ground that you're going to be walking over. Now, some things which are drawn on a map and they're marked, their location is marked, they're not map features because you can't touch them. I'll give you an example. Just down the road from here, across the hills from here, there's a viewpoint marked on a map. Now, you can't touch a view, you can't touch a viewpoint, because the place where you actually stand to get the nice view, to you it might be right, but to somebody else, oh no, it's 50 meters that way, because that's a better view. So a viewpoint isn't a map feature because you can't touch it. Don't forget, it's got to have its location marked and you've got to be able to touch it. So that's that. Now, there are two types of map features. There are man-made features and there are natural features. Man-made features would be things like roads, walls, trig points, quarries. Natural features would be things like hills, rivers, contours, re-entrance. In some part of the world they call re-entrance a draw. So if there's anybody in America watching this, can you put a little comment in the box, explain why you call it a draw? Because I actually don't understand that. We call it a re-entrant as the contour line shape at the top of the re-entrant re-enters the slope. Hence the name, it's called a re-entrant, because the top of the the feature actually goes back into the slope. It re-enters the slope. So why do they call it a draw? I don't know, but if somebody could tell me, that would be really good. The name that you give to a certain terrain feature or map feature is quite important, because as an example, you tell somebody, I'm going to go to, and then whatever map feature it is you're going to. The reason you're telling them is you want them to know. They may need to know because they're going to meet you there. Or it may be that you've told somebody before you left and you went out hiking where you'll be camping, so they'd know where you are if there was an emergency. So it's, you know, it's quite important. Now, the military have a system that they use to ensure that all their people call the same map features or terrain features the same names, and they have a mnemonic device which they use, and they do it by putting their hand into a fist and also an open hand. Let me get a stick. There you go, is a good high-tech pointer. I should have a laser pointer, shouldn't I? You know, some people on YouTube, they have a laser pointer. They have lots of high-tech stuff. I've got a stick. Oh well, right, let's go through this. So this is the military system. They'll have a fist, and their major features would be the hills, which are the knuckles, okay, and they've got a ridge, which is a line of knuckles or a line of hills. They've got a saddle, which is these dips in between the knuckles, and to demonstrate a depression in the ground, they'll do this. And so this is the depression here, and a valley floor will be the flat area. And they also, those are the major landforms that the military look at, which is hills, ridges, valleys, saddles and depressions. And their minor ones, their minor features are re-entrant spurs and cliffs, or sorry, draws, spurs and cliffs, depending on which part of the world you're in. So re-entrant is this in the middle here. It looks like it's where water collects before it runs down into a stream. And then you've got the spurs, which are running off the hills. So don't forget, a spur is simply a piece of land that comes off a hill and goes off in a different direction. And a cliff would be this section here. So this is the side of the fist. So that's the way the military teach their people, probably not with a stick, teach their people how to describe the same map features in the same words. But from a civilian point of view, we don't need to do that. We can summarize most map features in one of three types. There's line, spot or area. So map features in a civilian sense are line, spot or area. A line feature is, how can I put it? It's basically anything that you can walk along or walk parallel to. So it's something that's shown on a map that you can walk along. I don't know how else to describe it. It could be a wall. You could walk along a wall, or the side of a wall. You can walk along a path, or the edge of a forest, or the shore of a lake. So anything that you can walk along, like a railway track or a river or a ridge or a valley, if you can walk along it or parallel to it, then it's a line feature. A spot feature is, I'm trying to, should have written all this out. A spot feature is something that has a specific location on a map, where that could be a trig point, or it could be a wall junction, or a river junction, or a path junction, or it could be a bridge, the left or the right hand side of the bridge, or the north or the south end of the bridge. An area feature has certain characteristic attributes covering that area. So it could be a forest, or some sort of strange bird looking at me up there. So area features, it could be a forest, or it could be a lake, or it could be a large flat area, or a very steep area, or a boulders covered slope, or it could be a scree slope. Now quite often area features, the edge of them you can actually use as a line feature, you know, if it's outlined on a map. You know, once again, it is a feature because you can touch it. You can touch a wall, you can touch, you know, a tree at the edge of a forest, or stick your hand in a river. You know? So these are all features that civilians use. Don't forget, they're line, spot and area. So if anybody ever asks you, can you tell me what a map feature is, you can say, yes, of course I can. I saw it on YouTube. Maybe not. You can say it's something that has its location marked on a map and that you can touch. And if it hasn't got those two things, then it's not a map feature. One last point. When you're using map features to navigate, make sure that they're actually usable. I'll drop this onto your screen later on when I get home. This is a small bend in a contour line. Now, if you're reasonably proficient at navigation, you'll be able to find that slight kink in the contour line, and then from there go on to somewhere else. But could you do that at night, or in a blizzard, or a howling gale, or in any form of reduced visibility? Maybe not. So, you know, map features have to be usable. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.